DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Ron McBride in studio, the former Ute coach. Just talked a little Utah and BYU football. He's one of the few people who gets to go to all the closed practices and watch what's going on. In addition to going to practices, you go to high school football games. You actually work out athletes. Yeah. So I want to talk a little recruiting with you, using 24/7 Sports as our guide. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. They have a list of 44 recruitable athletes in the state of Utah. And I would say right now there are, I'd say 36, 37 of them are already committed to play. There's a few out there. And this doesn't count the kids who are going to go to Snow. I don't know how many of the Big Sky commits they have on here. Right. They don't. So there are going to be more kids because the Big Skies, but that's 37 that are going to play either Power 4 or Group of 5 football. There's a wide range, and you have ties through former players that coach at schools, and then you have ties to some of these kids because you coached their parents or in some cases, grandparents.
Right.
Unreal, Mac. Man, you are unreal. The guy who's rated as the number one player in the state, for whatever it's worth, is committed to Oklahoma. Bodie Sparrow out of Davis High School.
Well, yeah. So Ty Sparrow played for me at Weber. That's his dad. And then I watched Bodie last year against Brighton in the opening game of the year. I didn't know who the kid was, but he was
making plays and getting your attention.
Yeah, because they kind of sent Brighton to the woodshed, and Brighton had a nice football team, and the quarterback, very impressive, and then the Sparrow kid, very impressive.
So he's recruited as an athlete. He's 6'2", 195. Yeah. That's a kid who could grow and fill out and maybe tight end. That's a kid who's maybe a linebacker. That's a kid who is he fast enough to be a strong safety? 6'2's a
but I think. But in my own mind, I think he's a slot receiver.
Okay.
And so I talked to Ty. It was last spring. Mm-hmm. So Ty was up at BYU with his son watching practice, and I got a chance to talk to the young man. Got a chance to talk to Ty, and so this kid is way legit.
4 stars. Another 4-star kid out of the state of Utah who's also supposed to go to Oklahoma and play for the Sooners. He's committed as well. Crew Jones, an edge rusher, 6'4.5", 233 out of Orem High. Yeah. Have you seen him play?
I have not.
You have not seen him. Okay. So Oklahoma's coming in and getting a couple kids. Michigan is coming in and taking a couple players. They flipped Camden Lopati, the quarterback at West.
Well, Lopati was so his grandpa is the was the head football coach at West, and then and so I know that Arizona was in hot and heavy on him in last year, and really like they like everything about him, and so he is got a very good arm, very tough kid. Football guy, and so everybody likes him.
He was committed to Illinois, and then Kyle got the Michigan job, and he flipped. And the other player Kyle has come in and got a commitment from is the tight end Christian Hanshaw from American Fork, 6'5", 230. He's got some real size. Have you seen him?
Yeah. There's 2 or 3 really good-looking tight end kids, and there's a freshman at Alta. He's about 6'5", maybe 210 right now, but he's an impressive looking kid. I mean,
6'5", 210 as a freshman.
As a freshman, really good looking kid. I love the quarterback at Alta. I think he's a really good player. I think he's very smart, football guy, understands the game, good leader, and I think he's the sleeper of the whole thing.
Does he have the size and athletic ability to be a Power 4 recruit, or is he someone who's going to, well, for instance, go to Weber State where they got a quarterback guru now for their head coach, and then we see how he progresses from there?
I think, just to, he's one of those guys, a good locker room guy, wills his team to win. He has the right demeanor, and he has a good sense of the pocket. He has a good sense of timing, and he played at Skyline last year, and then he and his brother transferred into Alta this year. And Alta has a couple of kids, 44.
Oh, the Alta quarterback transferred from Skyline. I saw him in the quarterfinals last year. Yeah. He is a good player. Yeah.
So I think, and he's a football guy. I mean, he understands the game. He understands coverage. He understands what he's looking at. He understands the importance of the locker room. He's a football junkie kid, and he just.
I do think he's more likely to show up on a Big Sky team right away.
Well,
and then we'll see where he goes.
I tell you who I think would be a great fit for him would be Fresno State, because he's their type of quarterback. Tough, gritty.
Yeah. No, I see that now. You're right.
Yeah, I think he'd be in.
So Fresno State has come in, and I bet you know this kid. Fresno State has come in the top 10 players in the state. And it's one person's ranking, right? The Utes are getting 4 of them. BYU's getting 1 of them. Oklahoma has a couple. Michigan has a couple. And one guy's going to Fresno State. And mostly it's power. I mean, Oregon Penn State are coming in here and taking some of the top 20 kids in the state. So how does Fresno State get and I know the rankings are a little funky, but nonetheless, Manasseh Brown at Corner Canyon, 6'6", 265-pound tackle.
Oh, yeah.
How did Fresno State get him? Because I'm thinking a lot of schools want
him. His dad was coaching at Fresno.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And now I think he changed and he went someplace else.
So is he likely to flip? Are people trying to flip him now that his dad's gone?
Could be.
In the cutthroat world of college football, could be.
But that kid's a nice player. I tell you what, Corner Canyon is impressive when you watch them. I watched their whole game up last week on replay, and was really impressed with their defense.
You went to KSLSports.com and watched the game on replay. It's a little scouting service for you. Nice.
Yeah. So I watched it, and their gap control and their speed on defense, and Brandon Dart's son is an outstanding player, Diesel.
As long as you're going to be watching games on replay, I think you should go watch the Wasatch Cedar game.
Okay.
Had a bunch of big plays. Cedar has some sophomores playing. Wasatch has multiple sophomores.
Yeah.
Wasatch has multiple sophomores, all over the field. I think they started 6 sophomores, but they had 3 sophomore receivers.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, kids are so young at that age. Just to get them in a camp and see what they've got, 3A and 4A football, the level of competition isn't as good, but there are good players there, and we've seen some of those kids transfer to bigger schools and 5A, 6A schools and do well and get recruited.
Well, Wasatch a year ago, I spoke to them before a playoff game, and Jody was the head coach up there at that time, and I was impressed with the look of the kids. In other words. Just
they clearly had a weight room and a program, and they had real size and strength.
They looked the part, and it looked like they had a good future there.
You had a player named Havili, and now there's a kid at Granger High, a defensive lineman, Maimo Havili. I probably just messed up the first name. Related, or no, or do you know?
I think all those they're all related.
Got to be a cousin at least, right?
Yeah,
if it's not more direct. But he's committed to BYU.
But that kid is a very good player, well thought of, and Granger's kind of in a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's a standout, and everybody's offered him.
Well, right now He's committed to BYU.
Right.
And I know people haven't signed yet and things can happen, but that's it. You're already talking about Diesel Dart. You like him. He's a Corner Canyon. He's committed to the U. Satuala's little brother, Lakepa, is at Bountiful High.
Okay.
6'2", athlete. I think they're waiting for him. He's playing well, but I think there's this feeling like he could really dominate at the high school level.
Yeah.
So have you seen much of him?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Reserving comment. Fia was a star up at Utah State, and his son Noah is now a star up at Ridgeline High, committed to Utah State.
Well, I tell you what, Ridgeline has a lot of good players.
Yes. I've been told that Ridgeline, I think it was Riley Jensen who told me this. When next time we have Riley on, we can bring this up. Riley says Ridgeline is to Utah State what Lone Peak is to BYU.
Yeah.
There's a lot of BYU athletes in multiple sports.
Yeah.
They marry, they start raising their kids, they move up to the Highland Alpine area,
Right.
and they're getting good coaching. They've got the money to do the travel team and get the best individual coaching, and most importantly, they've got the DNA. So they got the height and the measurables, the speed, and all that. And so these Lone Peak teams tend to be loaded in multiple sports. He said, well, a lot of Utah State athletes are moving to a neighborhood that's in the Ridgeline boundaries, and the same thing's happening.
Yeah.
Ridgeline is defending state champs in 4A, and they're 36-4 in their last 40 football games.
Yeah, I know. They're nice.
They're loaded.
So the Ridgeline played
Morgan.
last
Didn't they beat Morgan last week? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Morgan Skyview game tonight on KSLSports.com.
And Morgan has a good football team, but they're not in comparison to
They can't handle Ridgeline's size.
can handle
Right.
Ridgeline. But
Yes.
Morgan has been impressive for a number of years.
They got upset in the state semis last year. They won the title 2 years ago.
Right.
There's only two regions. They're in Class 3, and there's only two regions, and they have won 22 consecutive regular season games in their region.
Yeah.
So what Morgan does is in the non-region, they routinely schedule up, and they play 4A and 5A teams, and they play pretty much anybody. Ridgeline, Skyview, they beat up on Kearns a couple of years ago when Kearns still had a pretty good team. Kearns had some kids transfer out, so like Granger, it's a rebuild for Kearns now. But yeah, Morgan's pretty much – Morgan will play anybody except Corner Canyon, I think.
Yeah. Well, Morgan, they have a really interesting mix of kids up there, and they're very, all sports, volleyball, softball, whatever. They're very competitive of all sports because their kids all buy into what's going on up there.
Another familiar name here. Let's go back. We were talking about West High earlier with Lapati, but they have another recruitable kid there, Dieter Lotelele.
Yeah.
So that's a familiar name because of Star. He's committed to Arizona. He's an edge rusher, 6'3", 225. High school football is so big, no wonder all these kids are getting recruited. I mean, 6'3", 225.
Yeah.
Edge rusher. I mean, he's already built for college football. He's got to put on some weight.
Yeah.
But you can see it happening.
Well, he's a nice. I tell you, West has a nice group of players. The quarterback is very good. The DN is very good. I mean, they've got quite a few players in there, and kind of it used to be Highland, East, West, but it was kind of East being the dominant factor, and then Highland next, and then West third. And then when the coach went from
East defensive coordinator went to be the head coach, and then East head coach has now gone to Skyline, Brandon Matich.
Right.
I'm doing the Skyline Olympus game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Brandon needs to get me the two deeps. If you know Brandon, somebody give him a shout out. He's a former Channel 2 intern. Brandon interned for me at Channel 2 when I was just starting.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I got Brandon stories. Brandon, I got stories.
Well,
I'll keep them locked down, though, Brandon. But I need two deeps, Brandon.
Brandon got in a lot of trouble last week.
Oh, last week?
Yeah.
In the opener? Got a little fired up?
Well, I think he got a couple of penalties.
Yeah.
His team got a couple of personal foul penalties.
Not the first time this has happened.
It was a 14-11 game, I believe, and so everybody was talking.
Oh, yeah, they played Stansbury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking. So everybody that was kind of, in that real world, that's what they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
They wanted to talk about the Skyline game with
Yeah. Brandon was before he went to East as a head coach, he was, when he was just getting started, when he was interning for me, and that's why I knew him, he was an assistant coach for Roger DuPay at Skyline. And now he's back at Skyline. It's come full circle. Yeah. But Roger was like Lavelle in that he could go through a whole game and you wondered if he said 10 words. I mean, he did. But, they could both be very quiet and very under control on the sideline.
So Roger DuPay, in high school, he played at Huntington Park High School. And so I played against him in high school. They were our arch rival, the Southgate Rams and the Huntington Park, whatever they were. But yeah, so he played for Huntington Park, and I played for Southgate.
You knew him back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. One kid I saw last week, because I'm doing 2 games every week, one on Thursday, one on Friday. They stream at KSLSports.com, and people like you can watch them, later on if you want. I was out at Harriman High.
Yeah.
And Harriman played Bountiful, and Harriman controlled the game early, had a lead. Bountiful finally got it together in the fourth quarter. They don't play preseason game. It's game 1, so it clicks when it clicks. And it started clicking for him. You could see the improvement as, guys get up to game speed in game 1. And the guy who wrecked Bountiful in the third quarter when it looked like they might start to get it going was Kemper Castro. He had 3 sacks in the third quarter. He was placed tight end, and he's a D-end. And so he caught a touchdown pass as a tight end in the second quarter. He had 3 sacks, 2 on back-to-back plays, and he killed another drive with a sack in the third quarter. Bountiful scored twice in the fourth, made it close, and then Harriman got a late score and put it away. Kemper Castro is going to San Diego State. Yeah. He's 6'4", 235. I'm watching him play, and I'm thinking, why is he going to Group of 5? And I'm glad he's going to San Diego State. I've rooted for the Aztecs my whole life, but I'm a little surprised.
Well,
and maybe it's a case of, he's breaking out. And, I mean, just because you go to a school now, you can transfer pretty quick anyway. So,
but, it could be. So, it's hard to say. I don't know who else is coaching at San Diego State right now. But obviously, that group has they have an in with the family.
Yeah, and there could be some tie there. Yeah, because to me it looks like his talent, and we'll see how it plays out over the course of the season. Maybe his talent's a little bigger. Yeah, but we see things shuffle around. He's not on campus at San Diego State yet, is he?
Yeah,
and he's not signed yet. He's committed verbally, but he's not. Signed yet. Anyway, it was interesting to watch him. But his uncle.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeremy. Yeah. So
so all the kids are all grown up now.
I know. So, I thought that.
So
well, his dad is David, who's Jeremy's little brother.
Yeah.
So Jeremy has a twin brother, and both of them worked at Channel 2 with me. And then Jeremy at the Jazz was actually, he wasn't our immediate boss. He was above our boss. He was our boss's boss. Went at the Jazz for a long time before we came over here. So
the kids of kids,
Yeah.
And
Kemper looked good. He looked good. I was surprised he went to San Diego State. And speaking of San Diego State, now let's get to the story about replay. Replay is a story this morning because in the Orioles game last night, they were tied with the Yankees 3-3.
I saw it.
You saw the home run over the foul pole. And the ump calls it foul, and the Orioles lose their mind because they think it's fair, and you think it's fair.
Oh, it looked fair.
Everybody thinks it's fair except the umpire, and then I thought the replay guy, but it turns out by rule, they need 2 angles to overturn a call, and they only had 1. Yeah. Now, why they don't have cameras in center field and behind home plate, shooting down the lines or whatever, it should be, and why they don't have a taller foul pole or a cable off the foul pole or artificial intelligence, give me the AI foul pole, come on.
So Pete Alonso, he was really upset.
He was.
Yeah, and then, of course, he struck out after that.
Yeah.
It looked like I'm not going to bat. And he swung at him. It wasn't even a slider. It was way off the plate, and he just went, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, he just flailed away. I'm done. All right. So I was explaining to Alex, who's only 26 years old. You and I have
Alex, you're only 26.
You and I have shirts.
You're a teenager. You're a teenager, bro.
We have shirts older than Alex.
I got called a kindergartner last night, Coach.
Yeah, sure.
So Alex doesn't know about life before replay. And replay's not perfect. It gets messed up. I don't want to go back. I've already heard somebody on national radio driving in this morning. This is why we have to get rid of replay. This is why I'm anti-replay. Quit being a fake tough guy. If you're anti-replay, you're wrong. You're stupid. It's not going away. There were so many horrific things that happened before replay, and you benefited from one of them. And I didn't know until we were talking at a Jazz game.
Right.
And you might have even been at Weber State when we were talking at the Jazz game.
Okay.
I'm a fan. Dad, Grandpa, my brothers, we go to San Diego State games. We sit in the end zone. We sit in the, that would have been in the northeast corner.
Yeah.
And San Diego State has left the then PCAA, now Big West. They don't even play football anymore in that league. Their arch rival is Long Beach State. San Diego State had like a 27-game win streak snapped by Long Beach. You're coaching at Long Beach State.
Yeah.
San Diego State has left to go to this is their last year in the league.
Right.
They got 2 years in transition as independent. Then they're going to go into the WAC and join BYU and Utah. And San Diego State had dominated the league. But when they didn't win the league, it was usually Long Beach, maybe San Jose. Nobody else could hang with San Diego State.
Yeah.
And you played at San Jose State, and then you coached at Long Beach. So in this era, they're just loading up with JC kids. There's no scholarship limits yet, and they're throwing the ball like crazy, but it's a defensive struggle. Your team's losing, I think 14-10, but maybe 17-14. You're driving down the field. Alex, this happens at the end of the game. I kid you not. They're like got 4th and goal at the 2, and they decide to go for it. And they're coming right to us. We're sitting in the end zone. And we're sitting it'd be the offense is right, but the defense is left, right? And they run, I can't remember, I think it was a sweep. I don't think it was a pitch toss. And the guy runs, and he's running, and the defense is coming over, and they're stringing it out, and he's trying to turn the corner. He gets to the sideline, he's going to plant his foot, he's going to try to drive through the contact and get to the pylon, stick the ball out, and hit it, right? This is for the game. This is it. Win or lose, there's less than 30 seconds to play. We're right at the end. And the kid dives, and 2 defenders come over. One guy hits him. Second guy hits him hard, pushes him out of bounds, 1.5-yard line. If I'm lying, I'm dying, Mac. Back me up on this. And the kid slides forward because a running back, but he's sliding forward. He's out of bounds. And laying on the ground, all 3 come to a stop on the grass. It's wet. They slide a little bit. And the kid laying on the ground, fully out of bounds, past the pylon, a yard deep in what would be the end zone, except he's out of bounds because he's thrown him out. He reaches out. He puts the ball in the end zone. The ref standing right there is like, these guys quit the league. Bleep them. Touchdown, Long Beach State. They win the game.
That's right.
Every word of that. Where's replay to bail us out? They stopped him.
46G bounce.
Oh, you remember the play?
Oh, yeah.
46G bounce. My brother's coming to town in a week and a half. He lives in Chicago, my little brother now. Now, he would have been pretty young when that happened. I think he would have been, because I think that was the 75 season. It might have been 74.
And if I remember right, it was...
You were only at Long Beach for 1 year, weren't you?
3.
Oh, you're there for 3. Okay.
So...
With Wayne Howard.
Wayne Howard, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Mark Bailey was the running back.
Oh, okay. I don't remember his
name. The Great Steal. It's called the Great Steal. So that's the one. So Bailey was
so fraudulent, so brutal.
So Mark Bailey was the kid that San Diego State hit away down in they had him in junior college in San Diego, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Russ Bollinger and myself, and then his brother was playing for us at Long Beach. Okay. So he was getting an AA degree from, he transferred from Cal, and he was getting an AA degree from the junior college down there. And in San Diego, I had him heading out. But his brothers told me, he said, okay, once he gets the degree, he said, we'll just go down and get him and bring him back to Long Beach, right?
This guy.
So his brother comes to, okay, let's go get him.
Mm-hmm.
So we go down, get him, and the guy from San Diego State knocks on the apartment door, right? I answered. And I said, can I help you? He said, yeah, I'm looking, I'm here.
Did you send him away? You tell him he's got the wrong address?
No, I told him, I said, no. I said, he's gone.
Oh.
I said, and the guy said, where'd he go? Yeah, he went to Long Beach.
That is awesome. And then he comes back and scores a fraudulent touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a guy, looked it up. November 22, 1975, San Diego Stadium, 21-17, Long Beach State wins to finish second in the league. San Jose won the league that year. They were 9-2. They were really good. All right, well, thanks for the great steal, and thanks for 46G bounce, and that's why we need replay, okay? And we need better replay. Pete Alonso got robbed, but nonetheless, we need replay because of that game.
It's funny how you remember that play.
The Aztecs were 8-0 that year. They were nationally ranked. They played nationally ranked Arizona.
Yeah.
And it was a great game, and Arizona won 31-24, and it was sold-out stadium, 53,000 people. It was rocking. It was very disappointing, but it was that's the first time I ever left a game my team lost, absolutely thrilled. Yeah. And I was sad they lost. And then they had to play at San Jose, and they had a total letdown. They got blown out. Yeah. And so we were like, well, at least we're going to beat Long Beach. And then we couldn't pull away, and then the steal happened. That was 8-3. 8-0 to 8-3. That was
46G bounce.
46G bounce with Mark Bailey. That is why we can't get rid of replay right there.
Yeah.
All right, Mac, that was a lot of football. Love it. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. If you want to go, I don't think we have time for this story. Mac's Foundation, helping underprivileged kids, funding after-school programs. He's got a concert Saturday night because Mac is a concert promoter. I mean, when you're 87, you got to do something new, so be a concert promoter.
Hey, I'm big in the concert world.
The Head and the Heart, Sandy Amphitheater, Saturday night, August 22nd, 2 nights from tonight. Get your tickets at ronmcbridefoundation.org, and the money will support 41 after-school programs in 7 districts across the state of Utah.
And the key, I guess, with my foundation is 95% goes to the kids.
Love that.
And so we pay our events girl, MJ, and
she's awesome.
Our grant writer.
Yep. Who's also fantastic. Yep.
And good.
But after that, everything else is going to the schools. Yeah. So it's really a good deal. The Head and the Heart, Sandy Amphitheater, Saturday night. Get your tickets online at ronmcbridefoundation.org. Help a lot of kids. If you're surprised Mac's working with kids in elementary school and junior high, it's because you saw a lot of recruitable athletes get off track. Yeah. They didn't have the grades. They couldn't behave in groups, whatever it was. And so let's reach out and help those kids now based on what you saw when you were recruiting kids. We don't have time for this story. Next time he's in, though, remind me, because you're 26 years old and you got a good memory. We got to tell the David Deacon Turner story. Oh, because Mac was recruiting a kid in the Central Valley and he couldn't find him.
David Deacon Turner was living in
a boxcar.
In a boxcar.
In a train on a sidecar, parked on the side of a track. And Mac's trying to remember his name one day, and he's telling me about this kid. That's the kind of kid we want to help. He said, I didn't get him. He's a good running back. He went to San Diego State. I said, San Diego State had one good running back in like 15 years. It's David Deacon Turner. And Mac goes, yes, how did you know that? I'm like, they literally had one back. He played for the Bengals for 5 or 6 years, although he's passed away now. He passed away way too young.
I tell you what, he was a great player.
Yeah.
So and so looking for him.
Looking for him. What boxcar's he in?
I said, which boxcar's he in?
Unreal.
And so I'm going there opening these things,
Yeah. Opening the doors.
And there's all those homeless people in there. I said, hey, where's the deacon? Oh, he's not. Who's Deacon? Move to the next car. All right. Where's Deacon? Maybe he's on the next car.
97.5 KSL, the Sports Zone. Thanks, Mac.
Okay.